chess fans. Welcome to another episode of Chess Chat, a program brought to you live from the new studios and state-of-the-art facilities at Fitchburg Access Television. I am your host, George Merijanian, Program Director of the Wachusett Chess Club at Fitchburg State University. This club, the second oldest chess club in Massachusetts, meets every Wednesday evening from 6:30 to 10:30 in rooms 142 and 143 of the McKay campus at the university. And with me, once again, for this episode of Chess Chat, now in its 17th consecutive season at FATV, is our award-winning director, Darren Dame of Fitchburg. He is a recipient of FATV's prestigious Bold Award. He received that in 2009. And assisting him for this episode of Chess Chat is fellow resident and longtime Wachusett Chess Club member and club technician, Brian Bigelow. And sitting across from me is my associate, longtime colleague, chess author, chess photographer, Wachusett Chess Club statistician, and an all-around good guy, Dave Couture of Westminster. Hello, Dave.
Hello, George. How are you?
Always good seeing you, Dave. I'm good. I hope you're good, too.
I'm good, yep.
Well, Dave, a little over a week ago, 8 days to be precise, we had a historic event that took place that ended in Astana, Kazakhstan. What was that? What happened in Kazakhstan 8 days ago?
They had the World Championship match,
okay,
in which they crowned a new world champion.
So we have a new world chess champion?
Yeah.
Okay. So who played? Wait a minute. We have a new chess world champion.
Yeah.
Who was the world champion prior to this world championship map in Kazakhstan?
So Magnus Carlsen, I think we have a photo of him
Yeah,
somewhere.
let's show a photo of Magnus Carlsen. There is a nice photo that Darren has of Magnus. And Magnus Carlsen, he's from Norway. He's a Norwegian Grandmaster. And he is actually the highest rated player
easily
in the world. His rating is over 2,800.
I'm sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
He's the only one.
The only one. The only one who's rated in the mid 2,800s. Yep. But he declined to defend his title for this world match.
Yep.
Okay. So again, that came as a surprise. A lot of people.
He had been hinting at it for some time. He had hinted that, unless the challenger was one of the new young group, that he might not defend it.
All right. So then who ended up playing a match for the World Championship? I mean, who are they? I mean, do you know?
So Jan
Nepomniachtchi?
Right, from Russia.
From Russia, a Russian Grandmaster.
Right, who had lost, 2 years ago to Carlsen?
Yes, he had played Magnus Carlsen previously. Yeah.
And got...
Here's a photo, nice photo of Nepomniachtchi.
And he had gotten pretty well crushed by Carlsen.
He is, I believe, 32 years old. Yeah.
Okay.
32 years old. Yeah.
Okay.
And he got his Grandmaster title in 2007. That's what. So he's had it for the past 16 years. All right. So he had won what they call the candidates tournament.
Right.
Yeah, right.
To see who the new challenger would be.
We would playing Carlsen. Of course, Carlsen declined to play.
Right.
Which paved the way for a new challenger. I mean.
Right.
And what happened?
I'll try for the pronunciation. Ding Liren.
Yes.
Of China.
Yes.
You told me the correct pronunciation.
No, bravo. Ding Liren, Chinese Grandmaster Ding Liren, who happens to be 30 years old, was his opponent. Was Nepomniachtchi's opponent in this match. So what was the format of this match? How did they play this? I mean,
so it was 14 games at long time controls. I don't know exactly what they were, but
this is called classical.
Classical chess. Because it takes
it's slower chess.
Can go on 6 hours, 7 hours.
Right. Okay.
So 14 games.
Right.
And if there's no winner at the end of that, so if it's tied 7-7, then they started with tie breaks. And the first day of tie breaks was supposed to be 4 games at, I think, game 25 with a 10-second increment per move.
That's called rapid chess.
Rapid.
When
That's
you
called
play
rapid.
when you play
Right.
game 25 minutes. Yeah.
Right. And if it was still tied 2-2 at the end of that day, then I guess the next day or maybe the same day, I'm not sure, they'd start playing blitz, so even faster games.
And what's that? 5 minutes?
Roughly 5 minutes. And,
Okay. So
until there was a winner, basically.
Okay. So what happened actually in the classical portion of the match? It ended in a tie?
It did end in a tie, and I mean, sort of a fascinating manner.
Right.
You know, honestly, when this match started, I wasn't that excited about it because Carlsen wasn't there.
Right.
But it turned into a very exciting match because the second game, Ding won, and he won with black, which is hard to do.
Yeah. Have we? I don't know whether we have shown the photos of Ding Liren. I think Darren has some nice photos of Ding. There's a young Ding on the left, and of course an older Ding. Again, he's 30 years old now.
Yeah.
And again, he was awarded the Grandmaster title in 2009. That's 14 years ago.
Okay.
So it was either in his mid-teens, 16 or so, that he got his Grandmaster title. But of course, what is historic about this this match is that that Ding won the match and became the first Chinese player, male Chinese player, to win the world championship.
Right.
There's never been a male Chinese player. Now there have been at least 6 women who have won the women's world championship.
Right.
Yeah. But Ding actually becomes the first male to win the championship involving men. Of course, if there were women strong enough, they could play actually in the overall world championship.
Right.
Okay. So what can you say about this match? Do you have anything to add to?
Well, I mean, part of what was amazing is how Ding got there, right? Because originally he didn't even qualify for the candidates because I think it was because of COVID restrictions in China.
Yes.
He wasn't able to travel.
The pandemic, COVID, yes.
So the first thing that had to happen was Sergei Karyakin was disqualified from the candidate.
Russian Grandmaster.
Russian Grandmaster who had made very provocative statements in support of the Russian invasion.
Okay. Now here's another picture. Here's a photo of a Ding at the board. Yeah.
So he was sanctioned, wasn't allowed to play for 6 months, so that opened up a spot.
Yes.
And they were going to give it to the highest rated qualified player, which would have been Ding, but he hadn't played enough games. So then the Chinese Federation had to set up like 3 different matches so he could play like 30 games in a couple of month period to have enough games to be
that was a prerequisite to the World Chess Federation.
To be considered active.
Right.
So he played those, which qualified him.
Right.
And then in the candidates tournament itself, only the first whoever wins gets to qualify.
And that was Nepomniachtchi.
That was Nepomniachtchi. But then Carlsen after that said, "I'm not going to defend my title." So then the other challenger was going to be whoever finished second, which happened to be Ding. So it was, you know, a series of like miraculous steps for him to get there. And then, you know, to win, he was I just read, the only player in the history of the championship to win the championship without ever having been ahead until the last game.
I see. Okay. Now we're going to present to our Chess Chat viewers a video clip courtesy of chess.com. Which is a great site. I urge our viewers to go to chess.com for a variety of videos, not only on this World Championship match, but on a variety of chess events around the world.
Chess events, and there's
they're great. Great
videos on chess improvement, and
we actually have among the commentators of this on this video we're going to show are 2 U.S. Grandmasters, Fabiano Caruana, a former, actually U.S. champion,
U.S. champion and challenger for the World Championship.
Right, exactly. He's played Magnus Carlsen and lost, but also Robert Hess, Grandmaster Robert Hess.
Great commentator.
Great commentator. And of course we have an Indian, a woman, international master, Tanya Sachdev, who's also commenting. So we're going to show this clip. Darren has this nice video clip from courtesy of chess.com, and I think our viewers and we enjoyed it watching it.
Right. So we should say this is the final game.
Final game. This is the clincher.
This is the clincher.
This is the tie-breaking clinching game, and we're going to see it right now.
And when it starts out, you can notice that Nepo has like 6 minutes left, and Ding is down to like 2.5. So it's almost like blitz at that point.
Okay, well, let's sit back and let's enjoy this. Enjoy this video clip from chess.com.
So Jan's about to grab his queen. There's queen d7. So it looks like he's trying to win this game, but he could be almost trying to lose to some extent.
Yeah, he's messing around a little bit. It's actually a very interesting move because you don't allow Black's queen and bishop to get free. Oh, but queen e2, you actually do. He probably didn't see that one.
It's a brilliant move. And actually, that means it's the only move that allowed Black to survive this game. I wasn't looking in that direction. The bishop is now under attack, but he defends it tactically. That was a really nice find. So Tanya, queen e2 played, Ding now down under 2.5 minutes, a brilliancy, but he's in some time trouble. Extra pawn, whose chances do you like right now?
This is anyone's game. It's so hard to pick simply because of Ding's clock situation. Queen e2, a really nice tactical find, getting out of that pin because of the check that you just mentioned. And at any point that Black wants to bail out in this game, you can just go bishop d4. Trade off those dark square bishop and you're absolutely safe in those positions because you'll always have pressure on the f2 pawn. So Ding Liren has got this safe exit idea and maybe he can start thinking about looking for more. Now Jan is down, well, 2 pawns on the queen side. One pawn on the board, and that a pawn is definitely one to watch out for. It can start marching down the board, but first Jan needs to come up with a move. And there isn't a direct tactic. You just keep everything centralized. You just simply move your queen or queen d5, king g2, and just say, show me the money.
Yeah, I think queen d5 is the right move because I think crucially, after bishop d1, you have some kind of queen takes c5 ideas to defend everything. As bishop e1 becomes a threat, you maybe also just have queen e4, but I'm not sure if white... But yeah, queen c5 is super safe there, so we could just see bishop d4 here. A bit of a draw for there for sure. Black decides to go for that.
Safest, right? Bishop e1, your pieces are getting a little bit loose after queen takes c5, so if you don't want to risk anything, and at this point, Ding probably doesn't have much in the way of winning chances, so play bishop d4, trade the bishops. Now the attack is gone before it's parried, before it could even get going. So I think bishop d4 would be the right choice. And it looks like we are heading to a draw. So for the over 235,000 of you watching across the different platforms, we are likely to see a draw in this game heading to blitz tiebreaks for the World Championship title.
Yeah, I think Ding shouldn't get super ambitious here. I mean, maybe he was feeling like queen e2, he's already better, but after queen e5, I think if you don't play bishop d4, you're going to be risking, potentially, especially with 1 minute on your clock. So he's going for it. Bishop to b4. He got ambitious.
Do you have the option of just giving a perpetual now? Can you exit out with queen e4 and queen e8?
Yeah, I guess white is not really risking, right? I mean, also, I guess bishop c5 is... Oh wait, bishop c5, bishop e1. Okay, that's actually no, that would be really dangerous for white. So let's not do that.
That's a brilliant point. That bishop takes c5, bishop e1. You filled the square. That's a different type of tactic, but the c5 square is filled by the bishop because the queen wanted to be there. If the bishop had gone e1 right away, queen takes c5 would have been played. So that's really nasty trap set up by Ding Liren here.
Yeah, so maybe queen e4 is the right response. King to g8. You can go back queen d5. I mean, it looks like a draw, yeah.
But Jan hasn't been making the draw, so now he does it. I think it would have been very dangerous, Tanya, if he had not decided on queen e4.
It was time. It was time for Jan to go for this idea. And now, of course, is the big question. Will he repeat with either queen e8 or queen d5, or at least offer a repetition for Ding? I don't see a way for Black to hide. You can go back with your rook to f8 in case there's a check on e8, and then you will also have a check on e6. Jan simply goes queen d5, so not even allowing that option. Guys, we're going to see a draw here. This will be a perpetual. You've got blitz coming up. That's what's going to happen. This match is absolutely insane. And Fabi, you were the one to call it out first, that we will have a blitz playoff.
Yeah, yep. Draw. That's what this rapid playoff has been. It's been super close, and 4 draws. These players didn't really there weren't even like huge chances, right? They exchanged some slightly better, slightly worse positions, maybe even clearly better in a game or two, but more or less all the games were balanced. I don't think we had a single position where it was even close to objectively winning. And this last game, I think, was quite excellently played overall. I mean, maybe some inaccuracies in the middle game, but it was super, super complex. So that's to be expected. And overall, just like really, really balanced. I mean, imbalanced, but also balanced in terms of the evaluation game. And Jan is considering, but it looks like he's going for it. Queen e4. I think has nothing really to think about here. He shouldn't be avoiding the repetition. There's no reason to.
Both players down on the clock, playing on their last minutes. We are expecting a repetition at this point with Ding falling back with the king to g8. Rook g6 is not a move that you consider here, right? It's the only move that I feel with black keeps the game going, but it looks like more like a losing move than a winning attempt.
If rook g6 is not better for it, I'd be shocked. But it's not definitely... Oh my god.
Oh!
What?
Is he playing for a win? Is Liren trying to win this game? Because this is a big moment. The bishop on e3 is pinned. The queens are looking at each other through that bishop. So if you can't take on c5, black is up a pawn, and Liren, I keep using this Hemingway expression, he said, courage is grace under pressure. He's courageous, and queen f5 gives black the upper hand, apparently.
Yeah, is he just pushing? But wait, why would white black be better here? You push with c4, yeah? That's... Actually, c4, so. C4 is...
On the board, white's got to go h4, h5, right? That's the plan. But black stops it with h5?
Or queen g4 as well. You could try to trade queens. You are up 2 queenside passers, and we keep talking about blitz. This is about to be a blitz game where Jan Nepomniachtchi, he's currently up almost a minute, but he is down a pawn, and those are some scary pawns to be down.
I'm in absolute shock that Ding actually decided to continue the game with just a minute on the clock. He's refused a repetition going into blitz.
Yeah, this is a pretty wild decision. Maybe it actually looks like a brilliant decision, but probably because this queen f5 was a mistake. And maybe he just missed c4. He thought he's picking up that pawn, but he's not picking up that pawn. So what does he do? Bishop to d4? I just want to stop c3. I really,
queen
really
d3
want to
there.
stop. Queen d3, yeah? Yeah, queen d3.
Oh my gosh. This is a position where Jan might have only one move to survive. I see the eval bar saying 0.3, but that is completely misleading everybody. There are 2 separate pass pawns. Most importantly, there's advanced c-pawn, and you want to rush your pawn to h5. You do not get that. The queen steps to g4 after pawn to h4, offering a queen trade, and then the pawn goes up to c3. Fabi, Tanya, this is worrisome territory for Jan Nepomniachtchi, who's dipping to just about a minute, and that was a mistake.
Oh, queen d3. Not even queen g4, queen d3. That's the best way. Yeah, that's really, really bad for white.
Oh my goodness.
The c3 is happening.
That move, rook g6, Fabi, we were thinking that's not even a possibility. And such a brave decision, and it's paying off. Ding Liren, with that eval bar, it shows that he's clearly better here. But practically, Fabi, how easy is this with a minute on the clock? And Jan there keeps the queens on the board, which is absolutely crucial for any play with white. He has to get h5 in. Rook d1 coming in.
Black is just pushing. Well, like, what does the h5 matter? Because you don't give checks on that diagonal anymore. Like, okay. c3.
Rook f6.
Doesn't seem to change a huge amount.
Yeah, what are you doing here as white? Because the queen on d3 is so well positioned, and he goes rook d1. He wants to chase the queen off the diagonal. I think that's a good choice. But can't that queen just slide back to f5?
And then queen c4. He has to engineer some sort of rook d8, rook d5, like something with activity.
Oh, but I like this because if queen c4, there's rook c6 now. The queen and rook along the 6th rank helps to push the pawn.
That's a good move. So wait, does the queen have to go to e2? But that's not what you want to do, because then rook c6 anyway, with the threat of c2, bishop to a3. And he's also has no time.
Wow.
So, yeah, this is very, very close.
Oh my goodness, we're stunned into silence.
Maybe you need to play queen e2 quickly and just pray. I mean, obviously your position is bad. but at least keep some time on the clock.
He's down to 35 seconds. Ding's the one with the time advantage, Fabi.
Yeah, well, white has to keep some time on the clock just in case it turns into a mess at some point. Wait, now rook c6? What is even the idea?
Is he going to try to sacrifice a piece and go for an attack against this king? That should not pan out, but maybe this king is going to try to hide on h2. And in a scramble, if it gets into real time trouble for black, when you're under attack, that's when mistakes happen.
Yeah, maybe a good practical shot. I mean, for sure, this p-sack is his idea. It doesn't work. Like, all these things are definitely true, but he wants to avoid it. So we're now rook to c1 at least. Or wait, can you trade? Maybe you could trade.
Oh, and it's given a question mark. You could trade and then try to get your queen back to e4 at some point? Try to make a draw?
You just try to, like, hold it move by move. Yeah, queen e4, queen c4. And it's not an immediate draw, but you're saying black cannot easily progress because
and he finds it.
Yeah, queen e4, queen g6, queen c4. Good try.
And not only
c2.
A good practical try. Sorry, Fabi, but look at the eval bar. It says minus 1.4. Is at nearly minus 4. So Jan may be fighting back in this game just when it looked like Ding Liren would be crowned world champion.
Well, it's very difficult to advance that pawn because c2 is allowing h5 ideas. And if not c2, then maybe you play h5 with black here. Maybe you really need to get those light squares under control. Okay, you can give a check. It probably doesn't change a whole lot.
Does he want to start pushing
it
the A
didn't achieve
pawn?
anything. Pushing the a pawn, maybe. But then bishop d4 will get some counterplay. Maybe king goes to h2, not to allow queen e4 check, although probably doesn't change much.
Oh my goodness, king h2 is played. And look at the eval bar. It's going near level. This could be dangerous for Ding. If he's all in for the win, he could find himself under pressure with his g7 pawn targeted by the bishop on d4 as well.
Yeah, I mean, like bishop d4, c2, maybe you lose because of queen to f7.
Yes.
Something like that, obviously, you would never want to allow. But generally speaking, black does not risk here. But bishop d4, the point of the king on h2, queen e4 was not checked because queen takes b4, wins a piece.
17 seconds,
Bishop
he makes
d4, and that was correct one. Wait, a3 and... Oh, is he going back queen f7, queen b3? Or is it queen f7, queen c4?
Yeah, queen g6 is available. I think that's what you were indicating. The pawn is protected. He goes queen c7, which is a mistake. A huge mistake in time trouble from Jan Nepomniachtchi. The queen has to go back to g6. That's the good news for Ding Liren. He has only one move here, and Jan is the one down to 20 seconds and counting down.
Wait, bishop c3? Oh, just a2 and queen b1 then. There's no checks. Yeah, I think this is over.
Oh my god.
Oh my
god.
gosh.
He has to go queen c4 back. It's the only move.
Will he find it? The only way to keep the game going is queen back to c4, going after the bishop. He plays just that. So a good find.
c2 now. Yeah, this is...
Oh my gosh.
So close to disaster.
But he's holding on right now.
Oh, is bishop c5? Oh no, it's not. I was trying to get too clever.
Bishop d6, this h4 pawn may be hanging in some positions. He goes king g2, which keeps it at -3. So that's obviously an advantage for black. But maybe it's time, Fabi, for your h5 move, just because you don't want this king to be checked left and right, non-stop. So maybe h5 helps that king?
Just to stop white, because white is threatening h5 now. White has a threat of h5. h5, queen f5, g4, and the queen has to lose contact with the c2 pawn. h5 might not be an easy decision because you feel like if my queen ever gets active, then white will target that h-pawn. Definitely a difficult decision, but might be the right move. If he plays h5, white will play queen to d5.
h5, queen d5, then... Oh, I was going to say a2, but you can just take my pawn.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah,
that
a2...
That works, because queen e4, take this bishop.
Oh yeah, he can actually play a2 immediately.
Although you have to be very careful here. Let's see. King f1. Oh, I don't think the king belongs to the first rank. That means a pawn might promote with check at some point.
Wait, now king e2, queen g4, so you can't move your king. Oof. But he was avoiding this a2, queen e4, queen e3 because he saw that option. He was avoiding it with king f1. Oh, wait, now bishop to b2 is coming. This is just game over. I mean, there's no more hope here. The bishop on b2, white doesn't even have counterplay. Wow. He's going for just desperation. But h5, queen f5, yeah, this is... Desperation is not working out. Ding is going to win this match.
Unbelievable. The resilience from Ding Liren. He brings his queen up. Now it's on f5. There's a pass pawn c2 that's defended. You can't distract the queen anymore. Ding Liren, who is down a point in this match, is he about to become our world champion?
Black can do anything here. I mean, he doesn't have to panic, but he can play A2. Queen D3 probably wins. G3 probably wins, yeah. And now A2. A2 is super, super winning. Not even hope is left after
we're just
A2.
seconds away from Ding becoming the world champion. If he just plays the next few accurate moves, it's all over.
Just one move, A2, and it's over.
And it's on the board.
Oh my goodness. And Jan Nepomniachtchi, he sits up in his chair, but he knows this might be the last few moves of his world championship.
Oh my God.
Oh, you see it.
And he gets
knows.
up. He knows it.
Yeah, bishop takes F4 is easy.
Heartbreaking. It's over. Ding Liren is the world chess champion. Wow. He has made history as the first Chinese player to win the world championship. We see handshakes there. Ding is overtaken by emotions. He isn't able to leave the board. And for Jan Nepomniachtchi, a heartbreaking moment there. He leaves the hall. This has been a fight of courage, of grit and determination. And all of that has paid off for Ding Liren. Take a moment and admire Ding right now. What a match this has been, and a deserving victory for Ding Liren. He is the 2023 world champion.
Well, there you saw it, Chess fans. A nail-biting finish in the thrilling Game 4 tie-breaking game, rapid game of the World Chess Championship in Astana, Kazakhstan. That was actually...
that was amazing.
That was an amazing game, and again, a historic game. Again, Ding Liren, Chinese Grandmaster, the first male Chinese Grandmaster to win the World Championship. And again, the World Championship has been around a long time, since the first one was 1886. Wilhelm Stein is winning it. And here we are 137 years later. And I predict there'll be an explosion of popular, interest in chess in China.
In China, sure.
Which already exists, but now it's even going to grow even greater with having a Chinese Grandmaster as a world champion. And again, the Chinese players didn't adopt really embrace chess until very late in the century. It's been probably only been the past several decades. They really embraced chess.
They have the game of Go that they're more focused on. There's even a Chinese version of
Chinese chess, So chess has become popular, and it's going to become more popular in China, and they have millions of people in China who play the game. So I thought it was a great, again, a historic event.
Yeah, one other thing to point out, that in Game 12,
of the regular
classical part, Nepomniachtchi was up by a point, and he had a winning position.
Oh, okay.
And if he had won, there was only 2 games left, it would be near impossible. But he ended up losing. So Ding tied it up at that point.
Okay.
So that was critical. So Nepomniachtchi was on the verge of being world champion in that game.
Right.
And he couldn't hold it.
Now, I don't know what fate is for Jan if he returns to Russia. Again, he spoke out against this war.
Yes.
And I just
the government's not happy with him.
Yes, right. Again, we just hope that all is well with Jan. And we'll see Jan again, because right now
he's playing in another tournament.
He's playing another tournament, but also rating-wise, Magnus Carlsen is still the top-rated player in the world. But Nepomniachtchi, Jan, is actually still second rating-wise.
Just barely though. Just
it's
ahead
a 5-point difference between the two of them. So, anyways, we hope our chess fans enjoyed the talk that Dave and I gave about the World Chess Championship, and the video, courtesy of chess.com, a great video, and we hope that our fans go to chess.com for other great videos on that site. So we'll see you next time on the next episode of Chess Chat.